So Sheena Marie Barnes messaged multiple friends of mine. She is one of the YWCA people that chose to believe Jung Che. She messaged people on my Facebook who are my friends and who are not her friends, basically lying and telling them that Jung Che is not a predator and that I somehow sexually coerced him or something. So it's just awful. He got, that's what the narcissist does when they stop getting to you and you realize their game. They gather tons of people to bother you, upset you, try to get you fired, to lie about you to masses of other people. I recently found out he actually went to a church to pretend he was a Christian, even though to the court he admits being an atheist, and then told a bunch of Christian people whom he personally views as naive, that I'm this terrible person sent by Satan and whatnot. And then he had church people stalk me as well. So that was quite creepy. On 4/9/21, my cell phone was copied. I believe this was, and other people told me he wanted to fabricate evidence against me in court to make it look like, even though I'm not in love with him and I've been married for 2 years, almost 3 years, to a wonderful man, that I still am quote unquote in love with him. He apparently took pictures of me somehow nude in his home without me knowing, sent them to himself from a phone that was copied to look like my phone, to act as though I was somehow trying to flirt with him 4 years later, to make it look like I'm somehow guilty of some kind of sexual coercing, even though I didn't send the text messages and I never took naked pictures of myself. So it's very, very creepy. Yeah. 4/10/21, I filed a report because he actually bugged my car and bugged my house. He hired Sasha Morgan Wilhelm and some of her friends to not only bug my house, I believe they paid Toledo Edison to do it. I'm not exactly sure. But somehow two-way listening devices were found underneath my cabinet and also in my kitchen. And I was called bitch and slut and whore and all kinds of really terrible victim blaming names. And that actually has now gone on for almost 4 months. I had to sue an apartment complex and move out for being harassed there by the same person. My understanding is Sasha Morgan Wilhelm may not be a prostitute now, but she was, and I guess she was paid by Jung Che for sex. Again, he's 50 years old. She is 22, or she's 23 now, but was 22 at the time. Apparently fell in love with him and then decided to help him in his evil deed of trying to harass his ex so that she would not out him as a rapist, so I would not have him arrested, or so that he could do this sabotage over my life, make my life a living hell. He convinces people, like I'm still in love with him and things like that, so he can make other women jealous. It's lovely. So as of February 26th of 2021, I am seeking a protection order against Sasha Morgan Wilhelm, and I want to leave this because she specifically has really harassed me quite a bit. In fact, this is a picture of her right here, and she posted on Facebook actually calling me a fucking psycho because Jung Che lied about me. She actually took pictures of my assault by Professor Jung Che, and she placed them on her Facebook. And it says, I don't know if I told you about my neighbor who is legit fucking psycho. And this is the reason I sued the apartment complex and bought a house in Holland to get away from this type of victim blaming harassment. She put this, and then she put this on her Facebook. Again, birthday 3/2/1997. This girl could literally be my daughter. I mean, if I had kids at a very, very young age, like 15, 16 years old, I just don't understand. I don't understand bullying mean girls. I don't understand bugging my house to try to make me upset so that I yell and say, get out of my house and whatnot. And then what they do is they audio record you. My private investigator said he's trying to audio record me getting upset, but without the slut and whore being said to me, so that when I'm angry, it makes me look crazy, like I'm talking to myself or I'm schizophrenic. And then they use that as a fabricated evidence in court that I'm unstable. So don't date bad men. That is what I'm going to tell you right now. Do not date Professor Jung Che if he's not already in jail. I'm hoping that I can still put him in jail. I promise you I'm trying. I've spent now $16,500 on various court and private investigator, and sending video of my house being bugged, the audio of what people were saying to me, to forensics in California to try to get justice, holding Jung Che accountable for paying people to do this to me, and also holding Sasha Morgan Wilhelm accountable. And again, I want you to know that if you are watching this video, I am not dying because of depression. I am not dying because of anger. I am not dying because of any reason but injustice. I am dying to draw attention to the fact that men in power should not have the ability to harass women this way, to lie to hundreds of people, to harass the rape victim because the police don't arrest quote unquote high profile men. And my last request in my death is this: I want justice for all women. I want justice for all women at universities. I want to tell you that if you're a university student, that you should report your rape off campus and not on campus. Otherwise, they will cover it up. And I want to tell you that in my last request for justice, that I do want Professor Jung Che arrested and charged with raping me, assaulting me, and stalking me. I did bring video of him stalking me to the Court of Common Pleas. And it is hypocrisy to try to put me in jail for breaking a gag order when he is a psychopathic rapist. And I would also like both him and his girlfriend, who bugged my house, copied to my cell phone, bugged my car, to receive involuntary manslaughter charges. And I just showed you proof of Sasha Morgan Wilhelm being on Facebook and calling